everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. How are you doing? I believe we are in November. Yes, I'm on a roll, man. Challenge accepted. 60 days in a row, I think, right? September, October, and now it's November. It's November, my friends. And I'm still doing summer photos from 2016. Again, another challenge. This is an awesome photograph. This is a photograph of my kids at the same place from Wednesday. If this is Saturday or the last one you just watched, we won't play the days of the week game because I really don't know what day this is going up. So the last one that I just did for vacation photos would be the kids going down on a 45 or a 90-degree angle. And this is a cave in the same location. So basically we learned from doing that under the cave exploration that lava stone, when it does form or dries up or whatever it does, it creates these sort of like cavernous type caves. And this is what it looks like underneath the ocean too. So like when I was telling you that my son saw an octopus in the last video, it's like this underwater. There's a lot of exploration to be done. I mean, we're not professional scuba divers, nor do we have like scuba diving gear. So with our like goggles and snorkels, there's only so far and so much that we can do. We actually didn't even have snorkels. We only had goggles. But my kids are pretty adventurous. So somewhat of what it simulates on land is kind of what you get on the outer skirts of diving close to the shoreline of the deep ocean. It sort of looks like this. So what you see when you kind of walk onto land is the same thing, right? It's the same island. It's just translated from land or in the ocean. And so the kids loved this. They were like, this is the coolest thing. There's actually a true, like, real cave. And they did kind of like hobble into it and explore a little bit while we were, drying off. And you know how we're kind of like the moms and dads that just want to lie down for like 5 minutes and then the kids wander off? Well, this is what they do there. They explore caves. And they thought it was freaking awesome. Of course it was, because there's no caves in Ontario. And if there is, I don't know. I've never been to them. At least not caves like this. Like looking at the edge of this photograph, I mean, I love the fact that my kids are in it, but I just love the crustiness of the rocks and the rock formation. And then of course you can see like the green mossy algae, because these are living, breathing caves, right? Everything that happens here is still within its ecosystem. So although we're kind of used to like trees and lush green, unless you live in the desert, then you know what that looks like too. But there are desert flowers and desert plants as well, right? You can have vegetation. It's just within its own habitation, right? So for this place, I mean, there's lava stone everywhere. And so these caves are living and breathing. And the kids they loved it. They loved everything about it. So the photograph itself is neutral enough that I can bring in all of these awesome deep oranges and greens. And it's fun. It's very, very busy in color, but I don't think it competes too much with the photograph. And I love camera background paper. I like that it's a little bit of like, I want to say an ombre effect. Why would I say ombre? It's an ombre effect. So from like right to left, the cameras do get significantly darker. I cannot speak. I'm so sorry. But yes, I love using background patterned paper. Obviously, that's my style, but I do like a really good funky camera one. And this one was great because obviously it's lending itself to express an awesome photograph that was taken, right? So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that pineapple onto the left-hand side that has the red journaling lines through it already. I'm going to attach it to a scrap piece of white cardstock, just with a little bit of ATG, and then I'm going to run it through my typewriter, and then you're going to see it in a moment when it comes out. It works really well. It's a very small pineapple, so it's kind of tricky to roller it through, and I tried my best to kind of like get my typing and my words as best as I could placed on the lines, but it's never going to be perfect, but it's okay. I use the chipboard title Our Favorite because the kids love it. I mean, every single photograph could have our favorite, best thing. I'm not very, very fancy schmancy when it comes to titles, and you shouldn't be. You should just go with the flow, especially when you're working with kits like this where honestly there's 3 different brands of stuff, right? Like the BU tag is from Bella Boulevard, and there's so many different other brands, right? And you'd think that maybe they don't, but they do. They all kind of have the same tones and they're all in the same brightness, so it all kind of works together, right? It's a hodgepodge, but it kind of all translates to itself in the end. And so I'm moving around that hanging out chipboard piece because I don't know what to do, but I think it's going to come back down later on and become tighter in the cluster. So there you see the journaling that I was talking about, and I love the way it turned out. I think it's cute. Again, it's not perfect, and that's not what I'm going for. I'm just going for the practice of. I'm practicing my journaling. I'm practicing making sure that I make an effort moving forward now that I know how much I like it on my layouts, that I'm practicing and I'm okay with. Just like anything in everyday life, right? You practice it. It just takes practice, just like this hobby. You practice making your clusters. You practice layering your paper. You practice using different colors or one color on your page. Everything is within a practice. So nothing that I do is in this, spectacular professional, I'm perfect. No. Everything that I do and I show you is truly in honest form. This is what scrapbooking looks like and feels like for me. And I have to tell myself that because of course I want it to look amazing. Of course I want it to be awesome. It would be silly to lie to you and tell you that I don't have those feelings. But at the same time, within the resistance of trying to be, the ultimate, no, I have to digress and I have to say, it's good. It's great. It looks fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It's fantastic. Move along. Keep going. So yeah, I love all the little bits and pieces. I only use 2 pieces of pattern paper to layer kind of on a diagonal, enough that the second piece of paper right underneath my photograph has all of the leaves and the colors that I'm bringing in now. So it's got the greens, the blues, the pinks, and all that. And I love it. I love that it has a very Hawaiian flavor to this. It's just so freaking cute. And it was so easy to do. It's a fast layout again, right? Honestly, when I look at it and I'm thinking, wow, 11 minutes. Oh my gosh, that's so fast. But in that zone, I told you in the last video, I was totally in the zone. Cracking into this, hip kit, whatever one this one is. I don't know if it's a June or July. Please forgive me. But I just love it. And so now the last little bits and pieces that I do before I add some gold Heidi Shine is just the wood veneer elements from the it's a chipboard pack and a wood veneer element thing. I think I have no idea. I don't even know what I'm saying. What am I saying? I'm just making little clusters here and there, and one of my favorite techniques is to layer the star and the flower on top of chipboards, especially if it kind of matches. So the flower has the right color for the Good Life chipboard piece, and then the star is just mimicking the star on the hanging out. And again, the hanging out is kind of not completely at the top, it's sort of grounding. So the grounding of the Good Life and the hanging out kind of happens a little bit closer to my center cluster, and I'm kind of liking that style. I've been doing that a little bit now on a few layouts. So yeah, instead of just anchoring completely at the top because I think it's so far away, I slowly just bring down those pieces and anchor the other side. So yeah, we're down to the finish line. I keep bringing out that little gold piece of sticker, and it's every single layout I do, I think you guys have seen me reach for that one. I think eventually it will have to be used. Be inspired, my friends. Be inspired. Do what you love. Do what you love. Scrapbook with a whole bunch of color, and don't be afraid. It'll all look good in the end. I promise you. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your comments. Great big hugs. I appreciate all of it. Just be inspired. Totally be inspired. And I will see you all very soon.